Hello. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, there we go. Hello, everyone.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. I got freaked out here for just a second because I pressed on the solo button and it did split screen for a second. Like it, you know how sometimes when we don't reset the thing, it doesn't switch frames very well. So it did that, and then I pressed it again.
Oh,
and
I
went,
was on two. I just left it on two. I never checked. I never think to check one.
No, you're good. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to our wonderful, I almost said Tuesday stream. It's Wednesday.
Did you check the AC?
I did.
Okay.
It's actually lower than normal.
Okay.
It's
well,
74.
It's cold outside. But...
Yeah. It's Christmas time, everybody.
Oh, no.
No, not there yet.
No way.
It's not even Thanksgiving yet.
I can't. It can't even be November. That's wrong. It's not November yet.
Yeah, if you look at our title for the stream today, it is in fact October 32nd. Yeah.
It is, because there's no possible way it's November.
What's up, Nerd Gun? Blueberry Drauger, Shard, Paint Liquor, Tim, Hoosiers. Hello. Hope you all are having a wonderful day. Hoosiers, I bust out Christmas stuff November 1st. Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, you're one of those. Poor
That's pretty
Thanksgiving. Just gets skipped over.
I am very excited for my holiday plans. I have almost completely planned out. I'm going to have Thanksgiving with my mom in Boise. Get to see her new house, which is very cool. Because they moved about 4 months after I did.
Okay. Now, were they in Washington?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they left after you left.
Yeah. So
no reason to stay.
Pretty much.
Jordan's gone.
I mean, they were planning on moving beforehand.
Oh, okay.
They had. So my mom really found a. Not like a retirement community, but like an older, like
a senior
empty
living,
nester
kind of like a 55
type
plus kind of thing.
Yeah. Just like a group of people who like no longer have kids in the house and are either partially retired or retired, this sort of thing. Because my mom likes hanging out with people and being social and having a good time, all that stuff. So she found one of those in Tacoma, or it was like South Seattle area, and they were gonna buy a house, and it ended up kind of not falling through. Like they didn't have enough space, or something happened. But she was notified that they had a new facility or a new complex that they were building in Boise. So she and my stepdad ended up getting on board with buying a house and getting it built from scratch out in Boise, which was really cool.
Nice.
So
yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah, so it was cool, like talking
stuff.
to her and being like, she was just like, oh, I gotta have my granite countertops and all that stuff. It was really fun.
Yeah.
And I've seen pictures of it. It's a beautiful house, and I'm excited to go visit.
Nice.
And I've never been to Boise. So,
you haven't?
Yeah, I've heard very nice things from my mother.
I enjoyed Boise when I was there.
Yeah, she said it's very clean. Everybody's very nice.
I
it's
went
very community-driven area.
When it was cold. I went in December probably.
Yeah.
And it was snowy, and I stayed in Boise, and then I had to drive somewhere away from that. Yeah, it was really nice. I went to. Anytime I traveled, I would always, anytime I had time, I would like drive around and just kind of see the city that I was staying in, and
So it was the best part of traveling, right?
Yeah, and I don't know if it's the university. I want to say it's the University of Boise, but it might not be. It might be University of Indiana. I don't think it's Indiana or Idaho though. Anyway, they have. I was walking around their campus, and it had their library. They're very excited about. Because the sign on the wall was library with an exclamation point. I'm like, we should all be this excited about the library.
Go for it. We're happy for you guys.
Yeah. And I was good friends with the librarian at the school where I taught. So and this was right after I quit teaching, so I had to take a picture and send it to him. Like, this is the way the library should be. This is the attitude we need to approach the library. Although, it does kind of contradict the kind of thing. As a library. Anyway, that's my favorite memory of Idaho. And then a lot of geese.
A lot of geese?
Yeah, there were a lot of geese walking around.
Okay.
And they had this random little Anne Frank memorial, maybe? It was like it was a statue and then a little fenced in kind of area where you could read about Anne Frank. And I'm like, I didn't understand the connection.
That
but
doesn't make
it was
much
interesting.
sense. Yeah, why of all places?
Yeah, why Boise, Idaho?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna go visit her for 3 or 4 days at the end of this month.
Game Delay said, in quotes, "It's very clean. Everyone is very nice. This is the review I'll leave when I finally visit the Monument Hobbies store." Well, we hope that it's an honest review if that day ever comes, and those are the words that you choose to write, because that's our goal. We like to be clean and nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm excited for that. It'll be good. And then I am going to go to Indianapolis again during the winter, around Christmas time. And then I'm going to fly from Indianapolis to Seattle.
Oh.
And then back to here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get a chance to visit everybody.
Nice.
For the holidays, which will be great. I'm very excited about that.
Very nice. Yeah. Delta, it's not a dumb question. Remember, those are the rules.
We have no dumb questions here.
There are no dumb questions unless it's the one that you don't ask.
Yes, dumb questions or questions unasked.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just a regular question from Delta. I just finished using my airbrush for the first time. What do I need to do to make sure it's ready to go next time?
That's a good question. So generally speaking, you don't need to completely strip it apart and clean it every time. What you do want to do is you want to make sure, and I can pull the airbrush out and show you what I do. But you want to make sure that there's no visible gunk or paint in the airbrush, and then when you spray.
Delta, do you have the top trigger that he's showing right now, or the pistol grip? He's got our airbrush. The pistol grip. Do you have one of those that you can demonstrate on? Or is it the same?
It's going to be the same.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be the same. The disassembly would be a little bit different on the trigger grip versus the pistol grip. But
just the general cleanup is
the general cleanup I'm going to be talking about is all going to be the same.
Okay.
But the goal is you want to have a completely clear spray when you're done using the airbrush. If you hear this sound, where it's like kind of has a weird, I don't know if you can hear that, but it has like a weird sound to it, that means it's a little dirty and you need to clean it. Which I will do after I'm done spraying, because it'll be fine for what I'm doing right now. But yeah, you want to keep spraying water or cleaner through your airbrush until it runs clean, like this. And then you can like pull the needle out too to make sure that there's no extra gunk on the needle. And then you can put the needle back in. But that's a general rule of thumb. Now, if you want to clean it and disassemble it every time, that is okay. You are allowed to do that. You just shouldn't need to. You're welcome, Delta.
Now, one of the things that, like, one of the very first things Jason taught me about cleaning the airbrush after you're done using it is that like, we squeeze a bunch of water in the cup, run that through a bunch of times, and then if you got to wipe out the cup too. But what he told me is that if you use like a paper towel to wipe out the cup, then you need to squeeze water, dump it, to make sure there's no like fibers or something that can get pushed back through.
When you're initially cleaning out, like if you have leftover paint in there, just do a rinse. Like here, I'll pull this over here so you can see.
You gotta have a little plastic tub.
Yeah, you want to get one of these in a plastic
for your gross,
tub.
Disgusting water.
And you just spray. Hold the airbrush
at
at
like a dentist sink right next to your
a 90-degree angle, and just
desk.
spray into the cup to get it to flush out, and then you can spray the excess water out. But that's the general rule of thumb. The other thing too is if you're cleaning with like isopropyl alcohol or anything like that, or like airbrush cleaner, when you're done, spray a little bit of water through it. One of the things that can happen, we've had this come up in
For sure.
in like tickets where people have been asking about like what weird things happen when they use some of our paints. We've had people who have like not cleaned out their airbrush after using isopropyl to clean it, and there will be like little drips of iso that'll still be in the airbrush. So you want to get it to be completely dry, or you want to run a little bit of water through it to clean out all that iso. Because when you mix iso plus paint or primer, it does weird stuff that you don't want to have it be doing.
Yeah.
So, all of those things are important, and you should do them.
And hello, everyone.
And
Who has
hello.
since joined. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday, right?
Yeah. I had to know.
It's Yes. Wednesday at 12:13.
I need
Except
to
the
get.
date is wrong on my watch. It says 1. Clearly 32.
I think I need a new bottle of Bold Pyro Red. I'll write it down on my little thing.
Ghost Hunter, hope the airbrush lesson was clipped. Gabe, if you're watching, maybe you clip that. Otherwise, add it to the list of. I think it'd be a good tutorial video.
Yeah, it is on the list of
Okay.
tutorials
Okay.
to do. Yeah.
Perfect.
For sure.
Omicron planned on heading down to us today, but your oil change took far too long for just an oil change. They get you.
It's okay.
One of
We
my
will see you
least
soon.
favorite things to do is taking my car to the car dealership for service.
Yep.
I feel like they look at me, I'm like, she doesn't know anything, which is accurate. But
The point is that they know things that I don't. That's why they're
That's why I
doing all
take
this
it there.
service.
But yeah, I have to just be very firm and no, I just want an oil change. That's all.
Yep. I probably need to schedule an oil change here soon. I haven't done one since I got here, or since right before I moved. It was like right before I moved, and they typically last 6 to 9 months.
Well, yeah,
On
and
my
you,
car,
and you
but-
don't drive very far anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Well, but the thing is, if you drive your car, like if you drive your car in like the city a lot, you actually have to do it more often because there's a lot more starting and stopping.
Yeah.
Whereas if you run, like if you're doing freeway stuff a lot, you don't have to do quite as much.
I'm very bad about that.
Me too.
I do though. They give you the little sticker, and it says on this date or this mileage.
Yep.
And I always go for the mileage.
Yeah, mine says that I don't need to get it
It
changed
is irrelevant.
until like December.
Oh, do you have like synthetic oil, like the once a year oil change?
I guess, yeah. Oh. Who told me that?
Best thing I did for getting
Somebody.
over my fear
I don't know.
of cleaning airbrush was watching a video where someone took the airbrush apart entirely and put it back together. Yeah, we did that not too long ago. On stream, I think.
Is that incorrect, JP Gray? I did completely tear the airbrush apart the other day on stream.
Yeah. So I don't know if that was clipped, but it for sure is in a VOD somewhere.
Yes,
Who
definitely
knows
in a VOD.
where.
Definitely in a VOD, for sure. That I can attest to.
Exactly, Omicron. That's why I'm like, no, just an oil change. Oil change, yes, it is wrong. JP Gray said oil changes are good for 5,000 to 6,000 miles. Does not matter if it's city or highway.
Okay. Cool. I don't remember who told me that. They seemed like they knew what they were talking about.
Feels like something more related to gas mileage.
Well, my gas mileage does suck. I just don't drive enough that it matters.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Because I'll tell you, my
Big oil change was trying to get you.
I don't think it was that. I think it was literally some random person. But I will tell you, like, I definitely feel the need for an oil change in my car, so it's definitely time. Because you can definitely feel when that oil's starting to get a little gross.
Really?
Yeah. Well, just your car just drives worse.
Can't say I have ever noticed that. But I'm the type of person who gets in the car and my responsibility is to obey the rules of the road and put gas in it.
I mean, isn't that everybody's
that's
objective?
as far as I go with these types of decisions.
Yeah, cars
I leave
get
it to the
sluggish.
experts.
Yeah. That definitely describes how I feel sometimes. Not me, but when I'm driving. Using a little bit of the red fluorescent here on the cloak. Pretty thin. Just trying to get a nice bright pop to the areas of the lights hitting it.
Awkwardish Panda, you need brakes and tires this month? I mean, just practice starting your braking earlier.
Wow, Jen. We should probably be giving them better advice than this. Hoosiers, red fluorescent. What?
Anybody should be coming and relying on us for any kind of advice. I love cars, that's why I drive Mini Coopers. Death from Impulsor, that's awesome. Oh, well, it's awesome if you ordered them from us, which I hope you did. Or not. I hope you ordered our paints.
Yes, yeah. Whether you ordered them from us
or from
a
local store is awesome, but as long as there are paints, then okay, good. Thank you.
That's what
we don't have fluorescence yet, but we have
soon.
Fluorescence coming very soon.
Soon. Yes, like Jason mentioned the other day, that is the plan. That is the plan.
I mean, game delay, you'd be surprised how many people come in here and be like, oh my gosh, I really love this particular paint. Like, cool. Good for you. Glad you like it. Fluorescent and plaid? Well, now you guys are just you're just way too selfish.
2157.
Yeah.
If you really want fluorescent plaid, that 2157.
It's a very long development process.
Yes.
Well, we didn't have them out for the October challenge, Bobson Dugnut. So you'll just have to use them for December.
Oh, hey, Jen.
Yeah.
Do you want to pick a color that's going to be part of the November challenge?
Sure.
Okay, so we're doing autumn colors.
Okay.
And it's going to be a limited palette.
Okay.
So I'm thinking probably like 5 colors plus white and black is probably okay.
Okay.
What color would you like to see?
Well, has anyone picked any yet?
No.
Yellow ochre.
Yellow ochre.
Yep.
All right. Boom. That's the first color you guys get to use for your November challenge models.
I don't know why.
Yellow ochre.
But to me, yellow ochre is a very fall-like color.
Yeah. Have I ever told you that fall is like my favorite time of year?
I mean, fall is fantastic. I love fall. And the one thing that, I mean, obviously, fall in Arizona means that it's finally below 90
like
degrees.
80s, 70s.
But the one thing that our fall is very desperately lacking is colored leaves, like leaves changing colors.
That is the thing I will seriously miss.
Yeah. So that's the one thing. I am obsessed with trees. I learned that when I was traveling for my job. We don't have a lot of trees in Arizona. So I didn't realize how much I liked trees until I went to places that have a lot of trees. And I just think they're fascinating and beautiful. And so...
Especially during autumn.
Especially during the fall. And I'm from Minnesota. And, you know, fall in Minnesota, in anywhere in the Midwest or Northeast, has wonderful colors. So.
Yeah, it is definitely really nice in Seattle. You don't get it as much as you do in places on the east side,
Yeah.
just because we have a lot more evergreen trees.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's still pretty.
Yeah.
I definitely am envious of places where they don't have any evergreen trees, so everything just
changed.
turns. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. My favorite.
Yeah. Had this morning at about 8:45 where I live a little bit of snow flurries.
Oh
Yeah,
my
we saw.
goodness.
Well, yeah, we were hearing from Jade and Chuck that. Well, Chuck was out of town, but Jade was telling us about snow yesterday in Wisconsin. My nieces, their Halloween costumes had winter suit like snow pants and jackets underneath. Their Elsa costumes, and they had their little gloves on, and yeah. Very cute, still. Cute little Elsa. They were both Elsa. Adorable. The October Challenge review will be on Thursday. We talked about doing it today, but since today is technically the end of the month. Or no.
Yesterday.
Yesterday we talked about it. No,
Yeah.
we never talked about doing it today. Sorry. I don't know what day it is.
You're
We
good.
talked about
You're
doing
good.
it yesterday, but yesterday was the last day of the month, so we decided not to. So it'll be tomorrow. It's always out a Tuesday or Thursday stream when we have a little bit more time.
Yeah, I had technically said it in a way that it was a little nebulous for those of you who either aren't here all the time on stream, where we were talking about it being, on Tuesday. So when it came to it on that morning, I was like, you know what? Let's just move it. I want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to participate and finish everything. So, and we got a couple more, last minute submissions, which is great. So I'm glad we ended up doing it.
And if you're not sure what we're talking about, check our Discord with the link I just put up there. We do monthly painting challenges. They're not competitions or contests or anything like that. It's just we give you a prompt, I guess, if you will, is a way to say it. We say, here's what we'd like to see, and then we want the community to just run with it, give your best shot at telling the story, and then at the end of the month, we look at all of them on a stream, and we pick a few that we think best represented the month's theme.
Yeah, and we don't pick necessarily the best painted miniatures.
No.
We pick the people who have done the best job to
Representing the theme.
The theme.
Strict guidelines on color and theme, usually. Yeah. We haven't put up the November challenge yet. That's what we're talking about. It'll go up. You can put it up today? Yeah. It'll go up later today after stream. And this month will be a limited color palette.
Mm-hmm.
We'll pick the colors. We'll let you know what colors. They do not have to be Pro Acryl colors. So if you don't have all of the colors that we mention, you don't own the Pro Acryl version, you can find a comparable match from any other line that you already have. And the model this month will be anything, right?
Yeah, it'll be anything. Yeah.
So you can
I don't see a
model
reason
you
to
have,
specify.
but you're gonna have a color, an autumn color themed palette.
That's the plan.
And you'll want to, all of the rules and stuff or the guidelines will be in the post when Jordan puts it up.
Yep.
But just as a heads up, you got to take a picture of your model next to a piece of paper with the date or something time stamped, and post that up before you start working on it.
Yep. Yeah, I always put all this information in. I'm going to be a little bit more specific this month as to when we will be ending, so that way you guys will all know ahead of time when we will be doing the review. Seems like an easy thing for me to add into the beginning part of the month. But typically the 30th or 31st of the month, whatever is the last day of the month at midnight is the cutoff.
Yeah.
So, in an effort to keep them all consistent, that's why we chose to keep it for this month.
It should just be the 30th, shouldn't it? We always do the last day of the month just because people then know that they always have until the last day of the month.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That is accurate.
Neon green most likely will not be one of the colors JP Gray, so as much as it might remind you of fall, we do have a limited palette on this one. Your model must be submitted between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on the U.S. Thanksgiving holiday to see who's really committed. Because that is peak family time right there.
Yeah, if we don't get any submissions during Thanksgiving, I'm going to be very upset. Because it's truly, truly just everyone's being lazy. Why would they not prioritize painting over family time?
Who even has a family?
Yeah, it's not like I'm doing
Right?
anything for Thanksgiving.
I got Jason and a dog.
I got Jason and a dog.
That's my family.
What do you think? You think you'll have 2 by the end of November?
2 dogs?
Uh huh.
No, I don't.
No.
I don't think I can. We as it is, we.
You can tell I really want this to happen.
I mean, seriously, I would love to have another dog. But the practical part of my brain is thinking, we can't even go anywhere now because we have a dog.
True.
So finding someone to take care of 1 dog is a challenge. Finding someone to take care of 2 sounds like a bigger challenge. I mean, I've had 3 dogs at my house, and like you have to get them separate. Like whenever I had to leave, I had to find different people because nobody wants to take care of 3 dogs. You know, so 2 of them went one place, 1 went another. And...
Oh, did you actually send?
Yeah, to like friends. Yeah. Friends were like, "Oh, they can come stay with me when you're gone."
No house sitting, dog sitting.
No, we're thinking about it now just because
it's easier.
You know, she's likes her house.
Mm-hmm.
I worry about her. It's crazy.
You guys are such good.
I don't trust anyone. Just because I know how she is, and I love her so much. And that's another. I think I said that yesterday. That getting another dog, I don't know if I would love another dog as much. I love my dog so much. It's disturbing.
I think
it's
I
a
think
little
you would
obsessive.
find that you would love that dog just as much.
No, if it wasn't as like Cora is so cuddly.
I think the thing is that they all have their own different quirks and
Yeah.
charms, right? Even if one is less cuddly than the other,
Mm-hmm.
it might have charming things about
Yeah.
it in other ways, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe it particularly loves you
Yeah,
instead of Jason.
I mean,
right?
Cora is. Jason makes it sound like she only loves him.
He does kind of do that.
He does kind of do that. Everything he says, she does that exact same thing to me when he's not there. So I'm home with her more than he is. So she gets her time with me right after work, and then when he gets home, she changes over to him. She splits her time and her love very evenly. He just
don't let him tell you otherwise.
Exactly. Like that dog. Like you can ask him who she follows around the house. It's me.
I feel like he would say that it was him.
Well, I don't know that he would. He knows.
He knows.
Yeah. He sleeps on my side of the bed and shoves me off. He has plenty of space. He doesn't even know.
So funny. Oh, goodness gracious. Good times. Good times. Time for me to paint up the little stuff on the cloak.
I fully have my travel painting set up on the table at my in-laws. I do not care. That's the way to do it.
Travel painting setup?
No one wants to dog sit for me. JP Gray has 13 dogs.
Somebody likes dogs a lot.
Yeah.
No one wants to dog sit for me. Sorry, JP. But, you know what? Sometimes too much is too much. And I believe this is one of those times.
Wife's dog wants all the pets from me, but defends her and follows her around. That's, I mean, when Jason's home, it seems like she wants all the pets from him.
Well, he's home less than you are, though.
He is homeless.
Which is probably why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the weekends, though, it definitely, well, no, like, for example, on Saturday, he was playing video games. And so he was in his, on his computer most of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And she would go in and, like, bark at him.
Bark at him.
And interrupt him and say, come out, you know, to, like, get him out into the living room for some dad time. And, you know, so he notices it because she goes in and she, like, bugs him. Say, well, when she's not in there, she's out bugging me. He just doesn't see it because he's doing something else.
If I don't see it, it doesn't exist, Jen.
Exactly.
That's how the world works.
That's the message. Yes.
If I don't see it, it don't exist.
Nerd Gun, what kind of saturation do you guys have in mind for the autumn palette?
Whatever you like. We're giving you the color palette and telling you to paint autumn colors. And then you can take it from there.
Lumberjack Tim doesn't seem to like this challenge.
Well, that's the cool thing about challenges,
you can
Tim,
take
is
the month off.
You are not required to participate.
We were just talking about all the beautiful places. And Tim, you live in places where the leaves change to beautiful colors.
Mm-hmm.
So brown and drab
is
makes
inaccurate.
me sad.
Inaccurate.
Well, we know it's going to include yellow ochre.
Correct.
That's what we can say for sure.
So we've got yellow ochre.
Tim, that's a lot of months that you don't like.
Burnt orange is going to be another color.
Is there anything you could do that would change your perspective? Because that's more than half the year. Core's at the gray. Thank you for the follow.
I think we do burnt red. Should we put a bold pyro red in there? Or orange?
Not if you got burnt.
Hey, somebody likes us.
I'm going to think about this a little bit more. But yellow ochre for sure is happening. And burnt orange for sure is happening. I think I need to move near the equator.
I mean, there might have been a label or two upside down game delay.
Yellow ochre.
Those were mine that have been stolen.
Yellow ochre is from set
1. Expansion 1.
Set 1?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I forget sometimes because in our numbering system, the metallic set is in between those two sets.
Yeah.
So it throws me
That's
off.
because we, the original base set included the first 5 metallics. And then expansion 1 included the rest of the metallics. When we started the line, we released sets just based on number. I mean, they were organized only by number order. It happened that the metallics were in sequential order, all of them together. So when we switched over, we took the base set because we were also finding that a lot of people were buying the 24 non-metallic base colors as singles and not buying the set because they didn't want the 5 metallics that were in it. So we decided to redo the base set to be 1 through 24 instead of 1 through 29. And then we made the metallics their own set. JP, you didn't think that it would be hot all year long, did you? Because, I mean, winter exists. I'm up like all the way, so I don't know. I don't want to go too much louder.
Are they saying you're quiet over there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh boy, winter haters here today.
I know. What a bummer.
Jeez.
All these winter haters. I happen to really like snow, okay? I don't like dealing with people who don't know how to drive in it. Because it gets me into trouble. When people don't know how to drive. And do silly, stupid things.
Darth Mullen, the non-matte colors that are in signature sets 3 and 4. So we've got some satins and a couple of gloss finish paints. The satins are not like shiny.
No.
Not at all. They're like, our paints are just generally very, very matte. So our satin paints are going to give you a finish comparable to like what other paint lines might consider matte. All I get for Christmas is socks, and I have not worn socks since 2006. You're just complaining about it being cold, JP. You could fix that by putting on some socks.
I don't wear socks around the house. Regardless of if it's cold or not.
Not around the house. Well, no, that's not true. I will wear socks around the house if it's cold.
Nope. Not me.
You just deal with cold feet? Or do your feet not get cold?
That's actually technically not true. If it's really cold,
yeah.
And I mean like really like 20s, 25, 30,
oh, yeah,
maybe I will. But generally speaking, nah. I don't worry about it too much.
I also don't wear pants. Pants are for people with bad-looking legs. No?
I don't think I have good-looking
Okay.
legs, and I still don't wear pants.
Yeah, the matte black and matte white without the E at the end is funny to me. Facts, when I get home, no pants. Are
I just can't recommend wearing them.
Are you wearing something on the bottom or just Donald Duck?
Yeah, who the heck would not be wearing anything on their bottom?
I mean, Lumberjack Tim has said that he only wears like shower shoes around his house.
Oh.
See? He just said I'm not the only one who strips when they get home.
I do not take all of my clothes off. Hi, Jabe.
Hi, Jabe. But you are.
His new name, by the way,
Right
Jen,
here.
I
Yeah.
have discovered his new name.
What's his new name?
It's Shabe.
Shabe?
Yes. Shannon.
Oh, Shelby and Shabe. Okay.
Yeah. And
But that-
Chessie is his brother's name.
And who?
Chessie.
Chessie.
Yeah.
Is it Jesse?
Yeah.
Jason.
My dad's name is Jason.
Jason.
My brother's name is
Jesse. So
So I'm
he's
both-
he's in the middle. He's
I'm
the
Shabe and Jabe.
he's
You on that one?
he's the misfit.
He is both
He's
Shabe
our
and
lovable
Jabe.
misfit.
But
Doesn't
his-
and I think he's the middle, right? Or is he the oldest? He might be the oldest.
He is the oldest.
That's funny.
Shelby's the youngest. His brother is younger than
In the middle?
him.
Okay.
Yeah.
for those of you who haven't heard, we have a new hire this week. She's here part-time. Her name's Shannon, and she happens to be Gabe and Shelby's mom.
It's awesome.
She is wonderful.
She is very nice.
My favorite thing about today was I walked by at lunch. I walked through the game room,
Oh, yep.
and Gabe, Shelby, and Shannon were playing cards. It was awesome. I'm like, I love this.
Shabe was, in fact, teaching Shannon how to play Magic.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
That's awesome. You tuck it most of the time when you're at home. You don't have windows. Love it. JP Gray, you don't live here. Mo's naked now.
I don't want to hear if you're naked. I don't want to know.
It is a family affair. So we also have Carter, who is Jason's brother-in-law. Boys are cleaning their room and found their Pokemon cards, and they're begging to play. We had a minute of excitement around like Pokemon and Digimon and stuff. Whatever happened with all that? Does Jacob and Paul do you guys still all play cards?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
switched to a different game.
So Paul and I are very much into Lorcana right now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our priority when it comes to gaming these days.
Yeah.
But we do still play Digimon on occasion. Jacob is still playing much Digimon.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I will be playing Digimon tonight.
Oh, good.
Although I have some things to take care of at home first. Jabe is coming to my house to help me fix my computer.
Oh.
Because my fans in my computer are starting to explode.
Oh, that's no good.
And by explode, I don't actually literally mean explode, but I mean like they're starting to make squealing, screeching noises, which is not great.
Probably not great.
Yeah. It's also unpleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you imagine the sound of like a motor or like a spinning thing that's starting to go bad, and it just starts like making that kind of screechy noise. It's that.
Doesn't sound fun.
No. Sheza, hello.
Hello.
How are we in this time
time zone?
We are in, well,
We are 12:45.
it depends on how you interpret that question. We are in this time zone because we live in Arizona. We are good in
How
this
are
time
you?
zone.
We are well.
We are well in this time zone.
Yeah, but that's true. It's like, how are you this time zone? It's all in the inflection
Uh-huh.
of
Yep.
the question, I guess.
Lots of ways to interpret it.
So, I think Jordan had both options covered.
Correct. I'm doing well. My foot hurts, but I'm doing well.
It still hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Need to get some new shoes.
Yeah. Yesterday was pretty rough around the edges. It was not a good day for foot pain for me.
Is it on the list for this weekend?
Huh?
Prioritizing it?
What?
Getting new shoes this weekend?
No, I have new shoes.
Oh, you have
I'm
them
wearing
already?
them right
Oh, is it the new shoes that you're adjusting to the new shoes?
now. Maybe.
see.
I think it's a combination of I pushed myself too hard when I was still my feet were still recovering on Monday. Specifically, it's just my left foot. My right foot is fine. But I'm having like a lot of pain in my arch. So
That's no good.
I am working on trying to lay off the walking.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the fact that I have new shoes is not necessarily helping, because I'm wearing a pair of shoes that has more arch support in it than I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
And that will definitely
Remember
not...
that might not be the thing.
Maybe it's not. I don't know.
You
It's-
should. I never went because I realized just by wearing flat shoes that that's what I needed. But I told you I was going to go to that foot store and like have them test my
Yeah, what
walk.
store is that?
I think it's just called like Good Foot.
Good Foot.
Good Feet. I'm going to Google it right now and I'll send you a link. Good Foot. The Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good Feet. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, I think figuring out what kind of shoe is good for me to wear is a good plan. I definitely prefer flat-footed shoes. But I think a lot of it is just the fact that I weigh a lot, and I was starting to add jogging into my repertoire as I was doing these walks. And I think that my body was just like, no, we're not doing this right now.
Yeah.
You don't want to be doing this. I don't want to be doing this, so you're not doing this. So.
Living in Tucson with small children, we were quietly relieved every time we didn't change our clocks for daylight savings. It's a good time. It is a good time zone.
It's going to be
We
really
like it.
weird when we...
I think it's this weekend, right? Is for those of you who
Yeah.
observe daylight saving, it's this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I meant to talk to Jason about that.
Yeah, we got to figure out exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, so Tim said we have a store like that up here. They looked at how I walked. It got me the best running shoes I've ever owned. Yeah, this place I don't think sells shoes. They sell the inserts.
Yeah, I don't even
Sheza said
necessarily...
getting your gait evaluated is super important. I supinate, meaning I walk on the lateral sides of my foot, so the outside. Yeah. Yeah, you can look at your shoes a lot of times too and see where they're worn out.
Yeah.
To know if you're not walking properly.
My foot, or my feet, it's worse than my left foot. I step on the inside right part of my heel, and then I step to the outer blade of my foot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you might need some physical therapy. Teach yourself how to walk
Maybe
a little bit differently, but try the insoles and see if that.
because I used to have
helps.
orthotics as a kid,
Yeah.
and they just made my feet hurt really bad. So I was just like, I'm not wearing these.
Cliff Jumper said I get my shoes at Tortoise and Hare. They do a whole thing where they record you walk and make sure they get a shoe specifically for you. Yeah, I'm gonna Google and see if we have that here. I've never heard of that one.
Might be a thing I end up doing this weekend.
Yeah. Oh, there is one. The Tortoise and Hare, there's one of those too.
Okay.
So
cool.
I'll send you that link.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
check
it's
into that.
funny because, you know, a couple years ago during COVID, I started jogging and getting more exercise. And granted, I started out about 30 pounds lighter than I am now. And I was totally fine. I had no issues jogging. And yeah, this time it just has been pretty rough around the edges for me.
All right, Tim, we know you don't like winter.
Are you doing white, or are you doing white and blue, or are you doing red, Delta? Then yes, gold. Silver would be for word bearers. Now, obviously you can do whatever color you want, but if you're trying to make it feel like the correct color for the factions, then those would be the colors that you'd want to do.
Oh, Cliff Jumper, this is just a local Arizona store. It's not like a whole big thing. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely check them out.
Yeah, so I sent you 2 links. Cool. All right. They're in Glendale. They're not close, but, you know.
I mean, Glendale's
it's
not horrible.
It's not too far. It's probably freeway the whole way, so.
Yeah. Probably like 20, 30 minutes away.
What I've learned is that in this part of town, you can get almost anywhere in about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Because
it's
we're
true.
smack dab in the
It's
middle.
true, because it takes me only 15 minutes to get to Tempe.
Yeah, oh yeah, Tempe's close.
It's super close.
Going back to Lumberjack Tim's dislike of winter and all things winter, have you thought about moving away from the cold? I don't know what your wife does. I feel like we've talked about this, that you guys have family there that are keeping you in that part of the country. Because we have, I mean, it's you're thinking about Colombia.
Colombia.
Well, okay. Do a lot of research. Arizona might be a nice, more reasonable alternative.
To Colombia?
Yeah.
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Moving out of the country is a big big thing that's not always easy. There you go, Tim. You can check it out. I don't know. But yeah, so we have you know, obviously yes, the days are a little shorter at this time of year, but it's light well before 8. And it stays light past 5, so you do get more daylight hours.
That I will enjoy.
More daylight hours. Yeah. How do you think he drives 900 hours a week? Oh, he's gonna do a different kind of truck driving in Colombia. Zoom, zoom.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Same truck, different cargo, yeah. And Hive Mind Minis, thank you for the follow.
The follow.
Appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
We're going to work for Juan Valdez. Colombian beans.
I mean, look, if you like Colombian coffee, it'll work out for you. Sort of.
What coffee was that had Juan Valdez? I have to now Google that.
I have to now Google that.
Juan Valdez. Oh, it wasn't a brand, it was just coffee. But now there is a brand called Juan Valdez. He wanted to see what kind of coffee they were drinking.
You have anything fun planned for this weekend, Jen?
Well, I asked Jason if we could finally start making our house feel more homey,
Okay.
because we've been there now since June, and we have nothing hanging on our walls. I would like to do that.
If it
We'll
makes you
see.
feel any better, I've been here since March, and I still haven't done it.
Well, but like, it's, yeah, and we've all been busy, and there's a lot going on. But I tend to use being busy and having a lot going on as an excuse to
Not do
not
things
do
like
anything
that.
else, even when I have the time to do other things.
Yeah.
So like on weekends, we literally just completely disconnect and get lost in meaningless nonsense.
I mean,
you know?
that's good,
You know,
largely.
we've needed to. We really have. I need to just turn off my brain and
Enjoy some
relax.
Bachelor.
Bad TV, and yeah, Jason plays video games, and but we haven't. We love our house, and so I would like to make it look nice.
You
So
gonna-
hopefully, I want to paint in there because it's very white. So
You gonna catch
kinda
up on the
boring.
bear at
Huh?
all? The bear? You gonna watch the bear at all?
I don't know. At some point, I will.
Yeah.
Speaking of coffee, Starbucks and Bigby both bring out holiday drinks tomorrow already. I thought it was just pumpkin spice time. Peppermint mocha. I will be happy if they have like their caramel brulee is good. Peppermint mocha is too.
For those of you
Too
who like
sweet
the
for
salted
me.
caramel mocha, you can get it year round. I'm just letting you know.
Do
Do you remember the salted caramel mocha?
no, I don't usually do mochas. I don't
No.
like chocolate in my coffee.
It's something you can get year round. It literally just has.
It's like a secret menu kind of hack.
Uh,
Like you just have to make your own.
It's
you have to order it a certain
sort
way.
of, yeah.
Like-
Because all it is it's mocha with toffee nut syrup in it.
Yeah.
They don't put any sort of like weird caramel. The only thing
Yeah.
they don't have is like the salt that they put on top.
Yeah, they had years ago. They had a butterscotch latte, and butterscotch is one of my favorite flavors.
Mm-hmm.
And they've never brought it back. And so I was like, well, there's got to be a way that I can mix and match the syrups and stuff to get something close
To get a butterscotchy
butterscotch.
flavor. Yeah.
And it's caramel and toffee nut,
That
so,
sounds correct. Yeah.
yeah. so it's pretty good.
Their toffee nut syrup is really good.
Huh?
Their toffee nut syrup is very good.
It's good.
I enjoy it quite. a
Bobson.
bit.
Have a good meeting. Sorry.
Bye. Good luck.
Can't wait to see Baby J's Movember.
November. What's November?
Isn't it no shave November?
I mean, I'm not gonna shave.
I feel like it's not gonna look much different.
I mean, I'm gonna get a haircut
it's
next week, but
It's when mustaches for
oh,
like men's health awareness.
do we do mustaches?
You grow a mustache, like you don't shave in November.
Hmm.
Am I correct in this, you guys?
I
Like,
mean, that's cool.
is that what Movember is?
I mean, I'm down to do the cop stash.
Yeah,
I mean, I would be down.
You would
to
do
the
that?
Cop stash. I would do the cop stash.
you should do that. I don't think we have enough of those.
I trimmed it down a ton, so I might want to let it grow out a little bit.
I wanted Jason. We went to a 1970s themed party
Uh-huh.
several years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I really wanted Jason to shave the beard but leave the
To
mustache.
leave the stash.
Yeah, he wouldn't do it.
I feel like it would be a very different vibe for me, for sure.
Yeah, Jason with just a mustache. Pumpkin Spice was August to November. Wow, it feels like it just came out. Because I remember the day that I went to Starbucks that day and was like, well, I should have come like 30 minutes earlier because it took that long to get my coffee. Delta, my favorite holiday gets disrespected every year by these corps, and I'm fed up about it. What
What is
holiday
that
is it?
holiday?
Thanksgiving? Because I'm with you. They don't bring back the gingerbread latte. Starbucks is dead to me. That one I feel like is a standard.
Yeah, I feel like that and like the caramel brulee now are pretty standard appearances.
I love the pistachio, but that's like in the spring.
Ooh,
Or no,
pistachios.
maybe that's in. I get it at LVO, so I guess that's January.
Yeah. It might be their like New Year drink.
Could be. Toffee nut and hazelnut together.
Would also probably be good.
Interesting. I feel like that might be a little too nutty for me. Oh, Thanksgiving is your favorite holiday. Yeah, mine too. I love Thanksgiving.
Really?
Hmm. I like the food.
I don't. Oh my goodness. It's like my least favorite part about the holiday.
Really?
Yeah.
I love cooking Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, that's a different thing, right? Like I enjoy the experience of like having a big dinner with family and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I do not care for the cuisine.
Oh, yeah. I think we've talked about that before.
Yeah. Like the turkeys are not great. Like it can be good for some things. My mom makes really good turkey enchiladas.
Yeah.
Out of it, which we're gonna have while I'm there, which is super exciting. But yeah, no, definitely like not my favorite part.
Well, I will say that if the main complaint is about turkey is that it's dry and bland, then I have solved that problem.
I mean, I have had good turkey before.
Okay.
So that I don't think that's the issue for me.
Uh-huh.
I think the issue for me is that I don't like stuffing at all.
Oh,
I think it's horrifyingly
okay.
gross.
Okay.
I don't like the fact that you make a whole bunch of this turkey and then turkey doesn't really reheat very well.
No, it definitely does not.
Because even if you cook it really, really nice and it's really, really moist, when you reheat it,
It's terrible.
it's bone dry. Yeah. So, that's kind of my beef with the cuisine for the most part. I also don't particularly like the flavor of pumpkin, so like pumpkin pie is not really my thing.
No pumpkin pie.
Now, pecan pie, you have my attention, but most people don't do pecan pie around the parts where I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like the second pie that you should have at a Thanksgiving, in my opinion.
So too. Yeah.
But most, at least in like the Pacific Northwest, like that's not a big thing that people do for holiday pies. They'll do like apple pie and pumpkin pies, but no pecans. I think that's
Slavic,
more
we
common.
go until 2 p.m. today, so 55 more minutes.
Just a
Stuck
few
with
more
us.
minutes. Just a few.
Game Delay grew up with no coffee, being raised Mormon, tested the waters basically drinking milkshakes with a hint of coffee, like a Frappuccino maybe. And now I grind my own beans in my hand grinder, brew over ice, and only add half and half.
Yep. That'll happen to you.
No shave thing for November. It's tough to give up the beard. They are so nice. So for people who are going to participate, you start with a clean slate November 1st and then just let it go. Is that how that works? Turkey and ham and deviled eggs and green bean casserole and sweet potatoes. Turkey, yes. Deviled eggs, yes. Green bean casserole, yes.
I like all those things.
Thanksgiving is low. What tomato? Thanksgiving is low on my list personally, but I'm not really a fan of American history or my family.
That's fair, yeah. My family is definitely an interesting group of people. They don't really share interests that I have. Like there aren't very many nerds in my family.
Mm-hmm.
Like even amongst my cousins, there's like one that plays a lot of video games, but like she's not as is not like to the level of nerd as I am. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I have a cousin that I don't see super often because she used to live in Alaska
Oh,
for a
well.
long time. She was born. She's like 15,
Oh, she's young.
14.
She's a kid.
now? Yeah, she's
Yeah.
a kid. Yeah. So
I don't have any well, yeah, I don't have a family here that I spend time with. Ham is greater than turkey and pecan pie or GTFO. Pecan pie is best pie. Come to the South, all we do is pecan pie. Do you say pecan?
pecan.
If it wasn't stuffed into the bird, it isn't stuffing, yo.
I'm not sure that would make it any better for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Tim participates in No Shave Ever.
We do say
You
pecan.
say pecan. This is why I hang out on
Pecans.
painting streams to find the
Pecan.
people.
As somebody who taught English for some number of years, how do you feel about pecan versus pecan?
It's a dialect.
Yeah.
So
It's fine.
I don't think there's a right or wrong. It's like I say caramel. I don't say caramel. I say caramel. Since I was a kid.
Aren't those two things
I've
actually
heard
technically a different
recently.
thing?
I've heard recently that one is meant to be the flavor and the other is meant
Like
to be
the
like the
sauce.
candy or the
Yeah,
sauce or something
yeah.
like that. To me, they're the same because they taste the same.
like caramel is the flavor, caramel
Maybe.
is the thing? Yeah.
Doesn't matter to
That
me.
sounds
They're all the same.
correct.
We're not talking about that anymore, Hoosiers. We ended that yesterday.
Yep.
So only psychos say caramel.
Caramel.
Pecan. What the heck?
Bacon.
Pecan
I
pie?
say bacon.
Do people know what you mean when you say pecan?
Probably not. Well, it depends.
Pecan.
Demonstrative superiority.
It's a PA thing? And am I pronouncing it the way that you say it is pecan? Like pecan pie? A deep fried turkey is the way if you are willing to take that risk.
I have not done that.
I have not done it either. My aunt and uncle used to do it and it was fantastic. Oh, kind of like they say wooder instead of water.
Worder?
Wooder.
Wooder?
I watched that show, Mayor of Easttown.
When
And
they say wooder?
Yeah, I think so. She had a very, from what I understand, she did a good job with the accent. Brother-in-law grew up farming in pecan territory in Texas. The pie those pecans made, he can pronounce it however the heck he wants.
Heckins.
Smoked turkey. Yeah. Finishers on the smoked turkey crew.
I'm not sure. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there are more interesting things to smoke than turkey.
Well, I think that'd be really good. Like a nice mesquite smoke on some turkey. Sounds pretty good.
It was amazing. I don't know what
Brined
color.
turkey. Yep, I've done that too. That's really good.
What color should I do?
See, that's the thing is that we have to come up with all these tricks to make the turkey taste good.
Yeah, why are we having to do that? All right, so I need some help identifying this. So there's very clearly like this like cool trim that we did in gold here, and then like an outer trim on the cloak. But there's like only this one layer of trim on the inside. It doesn't have like the banding like is on the outside.
Oh,
It just has this like bottom layer.
Like
What
a
color
hem.
should I do that? It's very odd.
Yeah, I don't know.
Part of me wants to just do black. But it's very odd. Yeah, I mean, I could do the gold. It just feels weird to have it on the inside of the cloak. Suppose I can always fix it later. If I hate it, I'm changing it.
Brother-in-law smokes a beer can chicken for Thanksgiving. I can never go back to turkey. We do Cornish game hens. Solves a lot of issues. Yeah, they're great. They're small, so they cook a lot faster. They're small, so you don't have much left over. And yeah. Been the way to go. We've done that for the past, I don't know, lot of years. Which model is this, Jordan?
This is a Praetor for Horus Heresy, specifically of the Imperial Fist faction. This is why it's yellow. I'm painting this up for Kyle, because he is going to use it as a character for his next narrative event.
Oh, you're painting this for Kyle.
Yeah.
I thought that yesterday when you said that, I thought you meant you were painting it to get ready for a game.
No, this is
But
for
Kyle.
Kyle.
It's for
yeah,
Kyle.
Yeah.
It's a Big Bird model?
Yeah, this is apparently going to be like a character that shows up randomly in games in the next narrative event.
With what?
This is like a character that'll show up randomly in people's games in the next event. Like when something fun happens, character will show up and then you can use it on the table as if it were part of your army. Pretty neat.
Game Delay, he does use a wet palette.
I do.
Yep.
It's right here. Woo.
So Game Delay said, what do you do to manage the paints on the wet palette?
Hey, somebody likes us.
Manage them how?
It looks phenomenal. Did he give you a paint scheme?
He said it was Imperial Fists, and let
And
me
then
kind of
let
go
you
with it.
run
from
with
there.
it from there.
Yeah.
To deal with the problems Jason complained about, too much moisture in the paint, for example.
Use less paint. So, or I'm sorry, less water in your wet palette. So one of the things that you'll do, here I'll just pull it up here and I'll show you guys. So you can see here, I have no standing water in my wet palette. None. It's damp. See, when I do this, you can see it pool
There's
a little
water
bit.
down there, yeah, okay.
But when it's flat, there's none. So what I do is when I saturate the sponge, I'll fill the sponge up with a bunch of water. And then I'll take my paint cup. Paint cup. And I'll just pour it out. And once I pour it out, that's usually a good spot to work from with terms of having moisture on your palette to keep your paints from drying up. But you have to kind of adjust it a little bit, because if you live in a really dry climate, then you need to add more water more often. If you live in a really damp climate, you want to use less water.
I feel like
Because so much
Delay
moisture in there.
is Utah, so probably pretty comparable to here as far as humidity. I would think it's pretty dry. Yeah,
Yeah.
high desert, very dry.
Yeah, Jason tends to use thicker applications of paint than I do. I paint pretty thin. So he adds like a brush full of moisture to his, and I'll typically add a little bit more than that. Not significantly so, but definitely a little bit more.
Slavic said, what about with a brand new palette and sponge?
Same thing. That's just my process every time I take the palette out in general.
Ghost Hunter wants to know if you use included palette paper or baking paper.
You
Like
can use both.
parchment, I assume?
They will react a little differently. So I have a red grass palette right now, is the one that I use most regularly, and I use the paper that comes with the red grass palettes because it lays flat. The paint doesn't bead up on it, and I generally have pretty good experiences with it. But I have also used parchment paper for long periods of time as well, and it works just as well. The paint will just bead up a little bit more. Not in a way that would make it so that you can't use it as a wet palette, but just the paint will behave a little bit differently as a result of the difference in surface tension on the paper from red grass versus, parchment paper. You definitely do not want to use wax paper. Wax paper is not what you're looking for. That will not work.
Doesn't seem like it would. I think though, is it safe to say that if you're using Pro Acryl on a wet palette and finding that it's not performing the way you've expected or the way your other paints do, that you've got too much water in the palette?
Yeah, I mean, if your paints are getting really, really thin and watered out, you have too much paint. You have too much water in your palette.
Okay.
That is what is causing that problem 100% of the time. Because if you think about it, that's the only thing that will cause that to happen.
Right.
There's more water than there would be than there is in my palette. The other thing too is don't put the lid on your palette. I use the palette for one session and I leave it open all the time. And when I come back, I swap out the paper and I put a new one on. I don't use a wet palette to keep my paints long over the course of days because the evaporation will cause paint to collect to cause water to collect on the top of your lid, and then it will drip back down on top of your paints, which is not how you want to have liquid introduced to your paint.
Yeah.
So that is definitely something that you should be cognizant about.
Oh, Hoosiers, that's awesome. Bridger said, can I just say that the picture tutorials on Discord are amazing. I use the rusty metal one all the time.
Awesome.
Yay.
We had a lot of fun getting those made for you guys, and we are glad that they are contributing to success.
And all of the recent ones have a short video that goes along with them. So the video we post on our social media and our YouTube, and then a couple days later you get the written text version of it.
Methodology.
Methodology. Darth Mullen said, "Oh man, that stripe is schmexy."
The stripe, this
and
one,
very even.
it helps that it's sculpted into the model.
Yeah.
It helps keep it even.
Never thought to add a fringe like that to my capes.
It adds a nice little bit of detail for sure.
Find the written ones more helpful. I feel like some of us learn better that way. For me, I know I can say that it's because of my age. That I'm from a time when we didn't have videos for everything, so I still find myself going back to like the written instructions for things. I don't go to YouTube very often. I also still like to have a calendar where I write things down, not just my Google Calendar.
Oh, you have like a physical flipbook calendar thing?
I have a desk calendar. I have a book, like a planner.
Like a day planner?
Yep.
I mean, I even have, those notebooks that I write everything in for like meetings and stuff, so I can keep track of all that stuff.
I went out over the weekend and bought a notebook for each meeting.
Yep.
That we have, because
I have one for every meeting.
I had one that had dividers that I thought was going to be fine.
Yep.
It's not fine. I need a separate book for each one. I told Jason I was going to do it. He's like, well, that makes me nervous. I'm like, no, that's the way it has to be. Because I put stuff in the one I have and then I can't find it.
Yeah. It makes it easy because I date all of the meeting notes that I have, so I go through and where it ends is, if I go back from there, that's the last meeting.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to go back and be like, what did we talk about again? Ah, okay. So I have those for the two big meetings that I have every week.
Yeah.
I have a third one. I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet, but it will get used eventually.
You'll probably have a third meeting at some point.
Yeah, exactly. At some point, I'll be involved in another meeting where I'll need to have it.
Nerdgun said, formulating a color palette with the yellow ochre. Do you know the color code for that paint? What do you mean the color code? Like the hex code?
No, I do not.
Game Delay said, I always go with fringe on my capes. I like how I look in the mirror with that bit of color. And now I'm realizing that you all were talking about mini painting. I love the idea of Game Delay wearing a fringed cape while he argues a case in court.
That would be amazing. You really need to do that. Although I feel like the judge might get upset with you.
Nah. I'm sure there have been worse
Probably.
things that lawyers have done. You just do writing, lots and lots of writing. Well, then a cape is needed. And a typewriter. Speaking of color codes, do you guys have RGB codes for the Pro Acryl lines?
No. We do not. If you are trying to find close equivalents, or if you're trying to color match, your best bet is going to be to use the Paint Rack app.
Paint Rack. And because I think Paint Rack has all those codes too.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's true. If you're home, then yeah, you don't need pants.
I don't need pants right now. What are you talking about?
So what do you are you that specific that you would say shorts versus pants
No.
and they're two different things?
No,
Okay.
I'm just being
No,
a
because
pain in the
I'm
butt.
just wanting to know, because like when people say I don't have pants on, I assume that they are naked from the waist down.
Yes, which is normally how you would assume it, and that's a fair assumption.
Yes.
However, I like to be a pain in the butt, so I'll be very, very specific about the terminology and say, well, technically I'm not wearing pants. I'm
Yeah.
wearing shorts.
Okay. Yeah, Paint Rack's awesome. It's
Jen,
an app.
Quick question.
He's got. I'm trying to see how much of his legs I can see.
Here.
Oh yeah, about a foot, maybe like 12 inches, like about that much. And then he's got
I have
shorts,
pretty long shorts.
shorts that are long, and then he's got socks and shoes.
Socks and shoes.
Socks and
I'm going to be honest, if I could walk around barefoot all day, that would be delightful.
You can if you want.
I can walk around the
Well,
office barefoot?
Not if you're going out. I mean, if you're in your office,
Yeah.
take your shoes off.
Okay.
If you go walking around, put your shoes on.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Just because I don't want anyone to drop anything or step on
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
you know. But yeah, when I'm in my office by myself,
Take
if
your
I'm
shoes off.
doing, like yesterday, I was putting in a bunch of orders.
Yeah.
Like, I would kick my shoes off and like
Yeah.
sit on my
Relax.
feet and yeah. be
Enjoy the
comfy.
fact that you have an office that you can sit in and
Exactly.
comfortably do work.
Yep. I had my Taylor Swift playlist going, putting those orders in. Yeah, if I say I'm not wearing pants, that means I'm in underwear or
Yeah, I understand what it means when you say it.
or a kilt. He's not wearing a kilt.
I most certainly am not wearing
Not
it.
today.
Not my cup of tea.
Yes, Courageous Octopus, which I think is the greatest name. Anytime we get like when we're here in chat on stream, we'll just say, yeah, you should check out the Paint Rack app. It's really great. When people contact us to support and say, hey, how do I match these colors? And I say, well, you want to go to the Paint Rack app. I don't know what kind of phone they have, so I can't send them like the link to the app. So I just say you can find it on this website, and it's Courageous Octopus, which sounds funny to me.
Courageous octopus. Much courage.
Secretly
many
hoping
tentacles.
Jordan was wearing the kind of tiny 1980s shorts that I wore when I was 7, like the OP corduroys.
No.
His game delay from Bag of Donuts Esquire.
I do not wear corduroy.
Yeah, no, our lawyers are Tony. Wait, no, Vinny, Frankie, and Tony Bag of Donuts. Bag of Donuts, Bag of Donuts, and Bag of Donuts Esquire. Attorneys at law.
Should we be using these attorneys?
Huh?
Should we be using these attorneys?
Yeah. You don't want to mess with Vinny, Frankie, and Tony Bag of Donuts.
Well, I'm not sure that I shouldn't.
Hoosiers also recommends paying the $5 on Paint Rack to upgrade. I have also heard this.
To actually be able to do the
Yeah.
color matching, I believe you have to have the premium version.
Yeah.
Which is $5.
OnePlus saves. What would you use for shadows on dark magenta cloaks?
On dark magenta, like, where's my dark magenta? Wait, where actually is my? Is somebody thieving from me? I find this to be unacceptable. Oh, there it is. Like this dark magenta?
Is there another one?
Yeah. Well, I'm just making sure that they're not talking about like dark magenta.
Like just a generic dark
Yeah,
magenta,
yeah.
like anyone's dark magenta. Yeah, the Monument dark magenta.
Dark blue, dark purple.
Dark blue would be nice.
Payne's gray is a great under color for that. You could use dark plum, and then Payne's gray underneath that. Like if you did like a dark plum, or if you did like Payne's gray, dark plum into dark magenta, that would look really good.
You're thinking dark blue? I think dark blue would be
I think
nice.
dark blue would look very nice.
The answer is always Payne's gray.
I mean, Payne's gray is a spectacular.
It's a
color.
good one. Yeah, Vince Venturella.
Vincy V.
Did someone say Payne's gray? Because I love Payne's gray. Yep. That's a good one.
It's a good one to love.
A follow-up, what would you add to the dark magenta to make a shadow color without losing the magenta tone?
Well, I think you start from dark to light when you're trying to do this. And then you undercoat the magenta step with a brighter color. So something to the effect of like an ivory or... Because the part of the trick for this is that dark magenta is really transparent. So you're going to run into issues where you're not going to be able to layer it over a dark color super well.
Oh, did you decide against the gold?
No, I'm having a hard time getting in there to do the dark line on it, so I'm going to paint it black first. And
I
then
see. Gotcha.
paint the brighter color over it. Although the black does look pretty good now that I'm doing it. And it would certainly be a lot faster.
Yeah.
Which,
The gold looked really nice though too.
yeah. I'll probably do the gold.
I
As
like
much
the gold
as-
better.
As much as I don't want to have to like do the
Yeah.
gold because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
The
It
gold
looks
does
really
look better.
nice.
Yeah. It definitely needs a hard break between the red though, because the colors are so analogous. Have that dark line in there.
Awkwardish Panda, gonna try and talk the husbeast into ordering me the paints for November's challenge. I need more fall tones.
Heck
Fall
yeah.
tones are good. That time of year. It's not a Baby J mini unless something gets repainted multiple times.
I wouldn't even necessarily say that I repainted this. Because it wasn't like finished to begin with.
Phoenix Mercer wants to know if you went and got a milkshake last night.
Oh, no. No, I didn't. I was really tired by the time I got off work. I had some like stuff that I had to take care of. I had to cook food. I had to do all this other stuff.
Did
I
you
was
have
just,
any trick-or-treaters, or you weren't planning on trick-or-treaters?
Didn't get any at all.
Oh my gosh, our neighborhood was
Crazy.
insane.
Really?
We went out to dinner because we just moved into this neighborhood,
Mhm.
and when we moved in, we met our neighbors, and
Right.
kind of got the vibe that it's a very involved neighborhood.
Yeah. Lots of
Of things happening.
Lots of things
Block
happening.
parties and things like that.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure because there weren't like a ton of houses decorated for Halloween. There were like our neighbors had some stuff in their front yard, but just one neighbor, like the other side, didn't have anything.
Yeah.
Majority of people didn't have any kind of Halloween decorations. So I was like, okay. We're in the neighborhood Facebook group, and they were talking about how they do a parade in the middle of the neighborhood, there's like a circle. And they close off traffic in and out of the circle from like 5 to 10. And it's like, sounds like, they walk around, like the kids walk around and you can sit out there and give out your candy there.
Okay.
That's kind of what I thought. So we're like, well, we're not going to do that. We're going to have kids. So,
Yeah.
not going to do that. So we went out to dinner with Carter and William, got home at like 6:30ish.
Mm-hmm.
And I turned down my street, and there were cars everywhere, like cars parked everywhere along the sides of the road.
Yep.
Which is not normal.
Yeah.
But I assume that's because of the people who lived in that circle that couldn't get into they had to park somewhere.
Right.
People everywhere walking around.
Okay.
Everywhere. The first ones I encountered right after I turned were like 3 teenagers walking straight down the middle of the street.
Okay.
I'm like, this is not starting out good for me.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of patience for that. So, so then I was like, okay, so this is how we're doing this. So I need to go like 5 miles an hour so that I don't hit anyone who darts out in front of me. Because it was dark. It was insane. I have never seen, and I used to live in a very family-oriented town before we moved to Central Phoenix.
Yeah.
And I've never seen trick-or-treating like that.
Interesting.
It was crazy. And where have all these kids been hiding? Because I never see kids in the neighborhood. We know our neighbor on one side has kids because we can hear them, and we've seen them. One of them plays basketball occasionally. I think the dad's trying to like make him into sports, like get into sports or something. Because it's like he's like, all right, and the little kid's not making baskets, and like I feel like he really wants a sport playing kid, but he's struggling with it.
The kid's no good at the sports. Yeah.
And then the other side has teenagers. So
got
it. They must be just locked in their house watching TikTok and playing video games, because I've never
also
seen
could
these
be
kids before.
Like if you have a big like trick-or-treating
they could
community,
be coming from other
coming
places.
in,
yeah, and maybe that explains some of the cars too, that people just drive them into this neighborhood.
Yeah, because I remember we used to drive to like different neighborhoods to trick-or-treat when I was a kid. Because maybe our area wasn't awesome, or you'd talk to your friends at school and they'd be like, "Oh man,
you
did
should
you hear
trick or
about?"
treat my neighborhood.
Yeah, you should trick or treat in our neighborhood. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Or you'd go to your like rich friend's neighborhood where you'd just be like, "Oh, let's go to Jimmy's
bars.
house because Jimmy's neighborhood's got a bunch of rich people.
Yeah.
And they give out full candy bars.
Full size candy bars.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So.
Was that Juan Tomato? Was that you yesterday saying that your porch light is broken, so you got full size candy bars for the people who like took the chance? Is that you? Someone said that yesterday. Everyone comes to your neighborhood, self-contained, no main roads, and a school. Yeah. So yeah, that was our Halloween. It was interesting. And Jason got home like a couple minutes before I did, and he turned the light on. I'm like, you can't do that. I will open the door in the dark. This makes people think that we're home and we have candy.
I don't know how you guys lived in the 80s stuck in the house without any internet.
Even in the driving snow, had a few hundred kids. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Go up to Osmond Lane. Quite a few Osmonds, including Donnie's son. So Donnie's son, was it the one who was... So there was this show, and I can't remember what it's called, but I loved it because it's like a It's like a guessing game kind of thing, and it's all these all these people who have famous relatives.
Okay.
And they don't tell. It's like, so they get maybe like 15 people, and they move into this big house, and the game is to try and keep your famous relatives secret until the very end, and at the end, whoever's the last one standing gets like money or something like that.
Interesting.
And Donny Osmond's son was on it, and nobody, he didn't win. He got really far because I don't know if people just didn't know who Donny Osmond was,
I have
which
no
seems
idea
weird
who
to
that
me,
is.
but
I have no idea whatsoever who that is.
you don't know who Donny Osmond is?
No idea.
Oh, have you ever heard of Donny and Marie?
Nope.
No.
Who's Marie?
Well, his sister,
Okay.
Marie Osmond,
Okay.
who's amazing. I love her.
That sounds more familiar for some reason.
So Donny and Marie, so the Osmonds were just this big Mormon family
Okay.
in the 70s. I mean,
Okay.
well, they've existed longer than that, but they were famous in the 70s because they're singers. So they were a big
Okay.
singing family.
Okay.
Donny Osmond was not on the Partridge Family, no. So Donny and Marie, though, were the two youngest. No. I think there was a younger brother. But Donny and Marie had their own, they were a duo. So they had a singing and variety show duo. They had a variety show in the 70s.
Okay.
It's like a really popular show. And they were just these wholesome singing families, just really wholesome and pure from the 70s. And they are still somewhat relevant. Marie, probably in like the 80s and 90s, became obsessed, or maybe she had this obsession before, but she became very well known for making dolls, like porcelain dolls, and selling them on QVC.
Selling them on QVC.
Yeah, so she would sell her dolls on TV.
I'm assuming she made a crap load of money doing it.
Yes, she did. And then now, and I don't know if they still have it, but very recently, in recent years, they had a Vegas show at the Vegas Hilton or the Flamingo or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Maybe you'll know this. Donny Osmond saying, "Let's get down to business" in Mulan. Do you know the movie Mulan?
Yeah.
So if you know that song, Donny Osmond was singing. Yes, he was also in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely. Mulan is one of my favorite Disney movies, so
there you go.
familiar with that.
That's
song.
Donny
Yeah.
Osmond.
Okay.
I don't know if he voiced a character. Maybe he voiced a character in that movie. I don't know.
He might have voiced the main the guy.
They had they were very well known. Donny and
The
Marie were
captain?
known for. I think he did host the Pyramid actually, Clarkatron. Their song that they were known for was "I'm a Little Bit Country and I'm a Little Bit Rock and Roll," and Marie was a little bit country and Donny was a little bit rock and roll.
Okay.
Mulan cast. Let's see.
Wait, Jackie Chan sung it? There's no way that's real.
In China, in the Chinese version. Okay, wait. So we're talking about the animated Mulan, right?
Yeah. I would assume so.
Let's see. Don't see. Oh yeah. Oh, just that he was the singing. Donny Osmond was the singing voice for Shang,
Okay. So it was not actually the
not this
voice actor. Okay.
speaking voice. I don't think. I don't see another Shang, but it just says singing voice.
Okay.
Is all it says. So.
No, I have that song stuck in my head. Gosh darn it, Jen.
I don't know the song.
Huh?
I don't know the song. I've never seen that movie in its entirety.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good movie. Very short. It gets itself sorted out nice and quick.
Donny Osmond was on Dancing with the Stars, which you probably didn't watch.
I have watched some amount of Dancing with the Stars,
Okay.
but that would not be not enough to like remember any of it.
Oh, I was gonna look and see if Donnie hosted Pyramid.
It's definitely really interesting because some of the singing parts in that song are definitely voiced by the actual voice actors.
Really?
Yeah. But
Oh,
mostly
yes.
because some of those characters had like very, very distinctive voices. Like what the short kind of fat guy. I forget his name. In the movie, the one with the grumpy beard. His voice is like really, really raspy for the voice actor. So that's probably why.
Game Delay said just found Jackie Chan singing on YouTube again, and he's solid. I feel like I have heard this.
That Jackie Chan's a good singer?
That he's a singer.
I can believe it.
Oh yeah, okay. BD Wong is the voice of Shang, the speaking voice, and Donny Osmond is the singing voice.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Wasn't Jackie Chan in?
Yes.
Smokey and the Bandit or Cannonball
I have
Run,
no
maybe.
idea.
The Bandit cast.
Turns out Jackie Chan's kind of a jack of all trades. Kind of just good at everything.
Actually, I'll look at this instead. I'll just look up Jackie Chan. That's easy.
He is very well loved in China.
And in America.
And in America.
You mean Jackie of all trades?
Jackie of all trades.
Yes, that is exactly.
Funny jokes.
All right, let's see. I feel like
T-minus
He was
11 minutes,
in-
folks. We're getting down to it.
he has a very extensive film history.
Who does?
Jackie Chan.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Holy cow.
Uh,
Very, very extensive.
oh, he was in a movie called Fist of Unicorn in 1973.
That's funny. And very Jen adjacent.
Half a Loaf of Kung Fu.
Half a loaf of kung fu.
Yep.
Gosh. Those old kung fu
Okay, it
movies.
was
are
Cannonball Run he
ridiculous.
was in. If I find out he also paints minis, I'm hanging out my brushes. That'd be amazing. Jackie Chan 100% paints minis. Chuck Norris stares at minis until they paint themselves. Hello, Panic Bomb.
Panic bomb.
Yep, just at the end. 9 more minutes.
Just a few more minutes.
You get 9 minutes of our chat today and Jordan's awesome painting.
It's all right. I'm all right. I'm like okay. good enough that they keep me around here.
Aw, Sheza, thank you. Thank you guys. We wouldn't be doing this if there weren't people to share it with. We appreciate you. What does that mean, Tim? Lumberjack Tim said, Jordan, for the record, my mini for the challenge has a lot of work to go on the metallics that I have finished in the challenge.
I am aware of this.
Do you understand this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I saw a post in one of the whip channels where Tim said,
Was it a...
there's no way I'm going to finish this model.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here you go.
Yeah. So, I am aware. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really looked at it too much, mostly because I'm saving it for Thursday. I mean, obviously I have to like make the doc, the PowerPoint, but I only have to look at the photos so much to be able to do that.
Are you just gonna... I mean, when it's time for the review, you just sit over here and do it from here? It probably works.
Oh yeah, because I'm gonna be
Because
solo.
it'll be on the screen the whole, and you'll be all by yourself. Yeah, unless
Yeah.
Gabe's here. I don't know what
Well,
Gabe's schedule is
maybe
tomorrow. But
I can check and see if Gabe wants to produce tomorrow.
Jason obviously has not been here today.
Oh yeah,
because he's out of office,
Yeah.
and he and I both are going to be gone tomorrow. So
Yep.
Jordan solo stream tomorrow, unless Gabe has availability in his schedule.
it's Solo J. I'm going to spread my wings and fly away.
Yeah.
That rhymed and it was kind of fun. I don't know about you, but I get really, like, stupid irritated. And I say stupid irritated because it's a stupid thing to get irritated by. When people, like, say things that can very obviously be like a rhyme and they don't.
Oh.
You're like, why didn't you just say that? It would
rhyme
have
it?
just, yeah. I get, like, stupid irritated at stuff like that. I was like, but why?
It's such a missed opportunity to
Yeah.
do a little rhyming.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love rhyming?
You're missing out. What the heck?
Because rhyming is like music, and if you don't like music, I don't like you.
Wow. All right. Jen laying down the law. I think this guy might just be done.
He looks pretty good.
Oh, I know what I want to do. I want to do... I'm going to finish these, like, little gem things. So they're almost... They're close.
Looking slick.
Looking
Said Nerd Gun
slick.
Painting. Just heard of a musician by the name of Aurora. She's effing good. What kind of music? Baby J is all like, have some whimsy in your life.
Have some whimsy
Yeah.
in your life. I strongly
Rhyme.
encourage whimsy in people's lives.
I mean, not only is whimsy fun to say, it's fun to have whimsy.
It's fun to have.
Almost like Bjork. Oh, very cool.
I am very sad that I didn't paint something for October. I realize that that's a boat that I missed, and I regret that I was not on the boat for that. Are you familiar with October?
Yeah, you can paint an orc whenever you want.
I know, but it's always fun to paint things in themed
when
months.
other people are also painting the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, the solidarity. Orcvember, there you go.
Orcvember. That definitely exists, everyone. We're doing that for sure.
Now you must shave your beard and do no shave November.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Just because I showed you guys an unshaved photo of my face does not mean I'm just going to turn around and start
if you don't
being
like
unshaved.
you don't like Orcvember, you can try Novemorc.
Nope, that's not great either.
I like Orcvember better.
Boop, boop, boop. Getting all these little bits and bobs done. Oh my gosh, there's still more stuff to paint on this guy.
158.
I don't really want to paint those little things on
today.
this guy. I'll paint him first thing tomorrow and I'll be finished with it. And I'll do the base. And then I'll hand it back to Kyle, throw it back at Kyle, and say, I'm
Just
done.
throw it. Here, take it. November
this.
York. There we go.
Alright, here we go. We finished up the cloak. All the trim done and stuff. We finished up the back part of the blade.
JP, I don't know what that says. Not so subtle or continuation month.
I did some decals on this guy, if you notice here on the shoulder and on this leg. Did some decals earlier. At the request of Mr. Kyle himself. I do need to throw some shading on this though. But that's it.
That is it.
We're pretty much it. Novmork. Panic Bomb Arcade. Hiya! Hello. So you paint models for people. Well then, I have a stack for you. To be fair, he did trade me things in for it. So he was like, "Hey, you need an extra tank? Here you go." And I was like, "I'll paint something for it." You don't have to just give me stuff. So, and I like doing it. It's fun.
I'll trade you friendship.
Well, I don't know about that. Jen, is that worth trading for?
I mean,
What's-
JP's probably
What's the value
a good
of
friend.
a JP Gray 87 friendship?
If you ever wanted someone to talk about dogs with or robots, JP Gray's your friend.
Ooh, I'm gonna start looking for a Gundam for my Gundam project.
There you go.
That's that one just for you, JP Gray. CF Bunny, man, I'm a terrible noob at painting, but I can't wait to waste the base set I ordered on my terrible prints. What?
Huh?
What are you talking about? Why would you be wasting it? Are you gonna just like dump pay down on top of them and not like
and then throw
try?
them away?
If you're trying and if you're learning, then that's a very good use of your paints.
Exactly.
Paints are you can get more paints. That's not a big problem. But you gotta try. If you want to learn, we are here to help you learn.
Yep.
You can
Join
be
us
here.
again.
Yeah, join us again. We'll be here tomorrow from 2 to 5. Since it looks like you're one of the newer folks here, so we'll give you the rundown. For those of you who are not regulars and don't know what our stream times are, we stream from 5 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday like today. We stream from 12 to 2. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we stream from 2 to 5. We
Those
do that
are
every time.
Pacific time.
Those are all Pacific times. This is relevant because you guys are about to switch your clocks forward, back,
Fall back.
fall back. Yeah. So back.
We don't do that.
We don't
where
do
we
that.
live.
So don't worry. We got a green version of this boy coming around here soon. He's got a big axe instead of a sword. I paint a lot of other cool stuff.
Challenge review Clark time is usually like the last hour of the stream. So 4-ish tomorrow, I would guess.
So yeah, we'll probably start around 4 o'clock tomorrow doing the challenge reviews. So yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. Jen put in the links maybe?
Nope, I haven't yet.
Oh,
Sorry, slacking.
no worries. We got a bunch of links here for the store, for our Discord, our local game store link. Check all these links out. They're great places to find the paints that we've been using on stream. Pro Acryl, which we make ourselves here at Monument Hobbies in HQ in Arizona.
We do.
And then our YouTube.
Best paint on the planet.
It is best paint on the planet. Best paint on the planet.
I think we both said that.
I think we did. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's also the best paint on the planet.
It is the
Somebody
best paint
likes
on the
us.
planet. But thank you guys so much for being here. We are gonna send you guys over to somebody else for a raid. Make sure you hang out and say hello and chat to whomever we find to raid.
I think it's going to be AC Miniatures.
AC Miniatures.
That's
Go say hello to
usually-
Aaron.
Somebody likes
Usually
us.
raid into AC Miniatures on Wednesdays, I think.
Thank you for following
Thank you for those
DJack77.
follows.
You guys are awesome. Keep coming back for more. If you like what you see in, make sure to drop us a follow. We love you guys, and we'll see you all tomorrow, bright and early in the
Bye.
afternoon.
See ya.